I think that global expansion is going to be a worldwide trend. I think that companies need the flexibility of being able to put employees into new countries. I think sometimes they miss the opportunity of maybe putting a contractor into a new country to test it out. Often they're salespeople, and those salespeople need to see whether there is a market there, whether there is an opportunity there. By putting an employee straight in, sometimes it's the wrong move, but I think that generally expansion globally through a employer of record model, whether that be starting off with a contractor and then moving to an employee, is definitely the way forward for a lot of businesses, because it means they don't have to have that entity in country, and that is obviously makes things simpler to have someone else take that legal responsibility. Yeah, I mean, a payroll company isn't the employee, often the employer. You know, when you take on somebody as a employer of record, you are actually their employer legally. You have to treat them as your employee. A payroll company is obviously often just a facilitator to put them on a payroll. This is, again, perhaps sometimes a misconception of a PEO model. So the employer chooses their PEO partner. So they will say to a company like ourselves, we would like you to act as the employer of record for our employees in this particular country. We're based in America. We want to go to Germany. We want you to be the employer of record there. We don't want to set up an entity there. We want you to be the employer of record. They will then often source and recruit that person themselves. And then they will come to us and say, we've got John Smith and we'd like you to employ him in Germany to do this particular role for us. And then we would take it from there. So we're not always going to be involved in the talent. However, as you know, we can do that. It's easy for us to source talent if a client wants us to. I think that the drivers are this global workforce, this basically transfer. You know, talent shouldn't be restricted by borders, and I think that is why PEO is taking off, because the world is getting smaller. Companies want the best talent, and some companies that we work with, that is their approach. They don't care where the person is because they don't run the company in that way. So they just want the best of the best wherever that person happens to be, but they don't want to have to set up an entity in that country because they may only end up having 1 or 2 people in that country. And really it doesn't become cost effective to set up an entity unless you've got 10 plus.